Hello, my name is Brier. I was a park ranger at the Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge Complex in Florida, so I am not at the refuge right now, but I am at another beautiful place nearby in Florida, another area of public lands, but I'm here to talk to you today about the impacts of recent terminations of federal employees. So I worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, which is a national agency under their division of National Wildlife Refuges. So a National Wildlife Refuge is established for the benefit of the American people, primarily to conserve habitat and wildlife, with recreation being a secondary use for some refuges. At the Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge Complex, there were a lot of open spaces for people to access this public land, mostly for free, along with the Three Sister Springs unit, which is managed in conjunction with the City of Crystal River and the Southwest Florida Water Management District, which is why there is a fee there. I come to you today to talk about why our work was important, so I will keep this brief and short. I worked as a visitor services specialist alongside another visitor services specialist, so the two of us did a lot of work there. We supported facilities management, habitat management. I created a 5-year budget plan for visitor services. We supported manatee rescue and release operations and monitored manatees in distress in our area. We also did a lot of recovery work when hurricanes came through and damaged the property. And we offered a lot of educational programming for the general public and also for local schools. We collaborated with the Citrus County Education Foundation to offer a 6-week, 60 kids a day for 3 to 5 days a week curriculum review for their standardized testing. So I was also working on other programming to offer free and low cost to the community for all ages, and unfortunately I will not get to continue that work, which is why I'm here today. It took me 7 years, 2 degrees, a fellowship, and direct hire to get to where I was at, and it was taken away because I wasn't in the service for more than 1 year. When I was offered the job, my initial start date would have been February 10th, but due to delays with HR, it was April 7th. So just taking a moment there to sink in that I would have been safe from these sweeping mandates if HR had been just a little bit faster. But anyways, I took 7 years and 2 degrees and a fellowship in direct hire because I wanted to serve the American public. I love wildlife. I grew up in a lot of wonderful places across the United States, from Arizona to Wisconsin, Tennessee. I've been everywhere, and Florida has been a unique place that I really enjoyed living in for the last 4 years. And now I have to go probably somewhere else. I've applied to over 40 jobs, and I want to remind everyone I got into this for public service and for the benefit of wildlife at the same time. I'm continuing to look into public service jobs and applying to those jobs because of my dedication to the American public. But I don't know, this field is very competitive, and personally, I am hopeful that I will find something that I enjoy, but I worry what will happen, especially in this competitive field. So many competent workers, but yeah, so that's the personal impact. Community impact, well, all those things that I talked about earlier, I don't know where it will go from there. I had ordered supplies to put on more programming, and those were purchased with fees from Three Sister Springs Access. I don't know if they will use those materials because there should be 12 people at the refuge for a fully staffed, fully operational refuge. There were 8 when my coworker and I worked there. There are now 6. 2 are term employees, so that means they could be renewed yearly for a certain number of years. I don't know if they will be renewed at this point. So, and it's due to no fault of their own. They are wonderful workers, they are wonderful coworkers, but I don't know where we're going moving forward. Fish and Wildlife Service, for those of you worried about waste, it was not a waste. In fact, funding has consistently fallen over the years. National Wildlife Refuges, for example, from 2011, if they kept the exact same budget, accounting for inflation, not accounting for increased personnel or increased land, is short $250 million on their budget. So getting rid of people who want to serve the American public, who want to work in public lands, is not going to save money. It does not save money. Our wages only account for a smallest percentage of a percentage of a percentage in government, especially in public lands. So I don't know what is going to happen in the future to our public lands nationwide. There were 2,300 Department of Interior employees working on public lands that were terminated. And let me remind you again, it's not due to performance. None of us had bad performance evaluations. None of us were any less dedicated than the next person. And we no longer have our jobs anymore. And I truly am concerned for public access and public lands for years to come. I don't know how this will turn out. So while I don't mean to be alarmist, this is not a cry for help. This is a warning. Our public lands are at risk, and we need you, the American public, to help us in the fight for our public lands, to maintain proper management, to maintain proper access, to maintain these wonderful places for years to come, for generations to come, not just for ourselves, but for our children's children. Thank you.